my wrist is his frogs. All my trying to make the dope in cold combine. I made 40 at the stop sign. Jab like Rockman, when the fur fox try. Motherfuck the cops in the neighborhood.
Like what advice or what kind of advice you want to give to these new artists who basically see like a Rum Nitty doing what he doing and saying how he get it that crazy, or how, you know what I mean, URL just put him here and he just want to
gotta remember
blowing
Rum
up.
Nitty,
Or no, you gotta think about it, it's all in the year.
But think about it. Rum Nitty battled Chess. Then he battled Steams.
Yeah, Steam.
Chess,
you right.
Steams.
Yeah, I put him through
then he battled
the ringer.
Av.
Yeah. I believe Danger Zone too.
No, right, Danger.
Danger Zone before Av.
Then Av.
Yeah, then Av.
Then Charlie. And now Rock.
Yeah.
So that's 7 matches. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a lot
wait, did I count that? Hold on, wait. What was that? Well, we'll count. Let's go through them again. That was Chess. That was Steams. Danger. Av. Charlie. And now Rock. So this will be his 6th match, right?
Oh, Ill Will.
7.
You know what you was talking about, Beasley. You feel me?
Yes, I had it right. 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, I say that to say that, you know, it may seem like it was an overnight thing, but it's what happens, and I try to explain this so people don't understand it. If you get into the URL system and you stick with us consistently, this is how you expand your brand. This is what happens. It's proven. It's proven. The reason why the vets are who the vets are is because there was at that time there was only grind time and URL. So none of them were really battling on grind time. So when you stay here consistently, that's how you begin to have an identity that begins to be a connection with your brand. That, you know, you got Hulk Hogan and WWE. You don't want to see him on another brand.
Nah, that's real.
You don't want to see John Jones and Chuck Liddell and George St. Pierre and, you know, whoever's, you know, the champ, you know, the guys that are the champions now, you know what I'm saying? Like all the, you know, Daniel Cormier and all these dudes. You don't want to see them on Bellator.
I feel
you don't want to see, you know what I'm saying? You want to see them in the place where it's happening, where the authenticity is, you know.
The most competition, the biggest names.
You want to see that, man. The lights, the cameras, the stage, the crowds, the energy. This is where you want to see it. You know, the audience, whether they realize it or not, they're programmed to watch battle rap in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like when you watch a wrestling match, you see Vince McMahon in the back smoking a cigar and running down the mat and shit, and this is how you watch wrestling. It's the same thing with battle rap. You're used to seeing smack. As much as you hate on her or some lover, you used to seeing Nels. You want to be mad at Norbs. You want to punch the TV screen. This is part of it. These are all players within the culture that kind of make it to what it is. You understand? So that's why, man, and that's why guys grow here. You know what I mean? So I mean but to answer your question, Rum Nitty did put in a lot of work here. And it just takes time. It takes the right battles. And one of his biggest battles was against somebody who was virtually unknown, which was Av.
And they made a fucking classic.
Because matches pushing forward. It's not necessarily names. I can name you guys out here that's not on URL that have battled everybody. Nobody knows who they are.
That's why, and I get surprised.
Or guys out here who are battling outside of URL that have battled a lot of guys, but right now they're not even mentioned or thought of.
Dudes
you know
that done battle top names, but then you get a New Jersey Twerk and he's more talked about.
Than these guys.
That's crazy.
And I try to say it, but you know what I'm saying? People don't get it.
And Bees, you know, I gotta ask you this, man. Like, you know, just seeing, you know, me being an entrepreneur and, you know, being a businessman myself, man, just looking at the relationship you got with Smack and your whole team and everything like that. I was wanting to know, man, how you and Smack meet, man? Because I'm working with Smack. I'm seeing y'all with BMF. I'm looking at mad shit. I'm like, yo, y'all been putting this work in.
We've been doing it for a while, man. Like, I worked in the music business for a long time. You know what I mean? I did radio promotion, and then I did A&R. At the time, years ago, when my man Vaughn had told me about Smack DVD, and he was like, "Yo, this thing," and he was on a Smack, and I'm like, "Yo, what is that? What's that?" And it was like maybe the first or second issue. He was talking about battles and all this other shit. So I had an artist at the time, and I was trying to get the artist on the Smack DVD. So one of my mans in the music business was actually my mentor, Kevin Mitchell. He had was managing this group called Nappy Roots. I don't know if you remember.
I know Nappy Roots. I fuck with Nappy Roots.
He's managing Nappy Roots. So he told me to come to the video shoot. So when I get to the video shoot, I'm chilling, and they're like, "Yo, what's going on?" And they're like, "Yo, they upstairs is some kid named Smack." I'm like, finally. So I walk in, and I'm walking in the room. I'm walking out of the room, and he's walking in the room. I don't know what he looks like or nothing. And we bump into each other. Boom. And I was like, "Oh shit, what up?" Oh, pardon me. Beats, Smack. I was like, "Yo, Money, I've been looking for you, bitch." You know what I'm saying? And we just started talking from that point on. And then, you know, I got the artist on the DVD, and that's when you saw Corey Guns doing a "Get 'em, bitch" or whatever was that day, Lord Tariq or whatever. So that from that day on, we just started rocking. And what happened was I knew mad people in the music business because I was selling beats at the time too.
Wow.
I used to sell beats to like Kanye, Little Kim, and just different people. Whoever was around, I would get all the beats. Everybody would bring me their beats, and I had the relationships. That was when you used to take your CDs, run up in people's studios, play the beats. Yo, I want that one and this one and that one. And then I would just negotiate it, take a percentage. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing for a while. So I kind of had a good relationship with everybody. Then I started working at Atlantic and Asylum, doing A&R, working with Gucci Man and Scarface and stuff like that. So, you know, I had a lot of relationships within the industry. Smack had the know-how. He was actually very technical. He did all the shooting, and he did like all the editing, the shooting, and then I started doing the interviews behind the camera. So just shooting, Smack would be shooting with the camera. We had the big stupid shit back there with the tape, and I'd be right here with the pad and the questions like da 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 da.
That's dope.
And then we just started rocking out from that point on, and then we just really built a good rapport and just became brothers, you know?
Nah, that is dope, man. Like when you seen it though, cause you saying you was working at, you know, in the music industry. Yeah. What made you say, you know what, let's do an independent battle rap? Like what made you even decide to
I like hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And the music industry changed. So they don't really make hip hop anymore. They make a derivative of hip hop, which is cool, and I understand it and respect it. But trap music and stuff like that, that sound is not hip hop. Hip hop does have a format, and it does have a culture. The culture of the MC wanting to be the best. That was always the culture. Jay-Z would run around, the best rapper alive, young ho. Lil Wayne would be like, I'm the illest rapper alive, and all of that. That was what people believed in. That was the mantra. We don't have that anymore. There's no competition within music. People just put music out. There's biting is, you know, it's cool to bite niggas' beats, rhymes, styles. All that shit doesn't mean anything anymore. It has that's because that's part of culture. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop culture. Being different, not biting, being original. Who got the best rhymes? Who can spin on their back? Who's the best breakdancer, the most graffiti? These are all things that come from hip hop culture. Now, I'm not saying that the music isn't good. What I'm saying is this is a derivative of what we know is hip hop. This shit is not hip hop. This is club party music, trap, or whatever. And I enjoy it. I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I go out, the women dance to it. They like, well, I know what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? This is still hip hop. This is a competitive sport. This is where people are coming to say, I'm the best and I'm willing to put it on the line. And if you don't believe me, let's go to war and let's see who's better. And I like that aspect about it. But, you know, once from working with Smack and then doing the battle shit, even though I was already in a label, I just liked it. You know, people would snicker when we would do all the, remember we had the strategy room, and K-Shine, you know, was arguing, that was all in my office.
Oh, I remember that, I remember that.
Tech 9 on the phone and all that with DNA, that was all in my office. So I would bring everybody up. I was proud of the battle culture. But you know, all these little snobby A&Rs and other people be looking down their throat at me, laughing and giggling and talking behind my back. Half of these dudes ain't even working no more. You know what I'm saying? And now we found a way to create an industry where people could get paid, we could take care of our families and make money from battle rap. We could be selling out, you know, big venues, breaking records.
Did you ever have a doubt it wouldn't work though? Like when you were doing it?
I didn't know. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. We had this master
like,
plan.
that's what I'm saying.
And we knew
shit just happened like
that this was gonna be big. I'd be lying to you.
Okay.
We just did it blindly, out of love.
Okay.
Just how Hip Hop is Real became a business when I first met y'all. When y'all walked up on me, it's like, yo, we about to get into this thing.
Yeah, we ain't know what the fuck
we here. Y'all didn't know what y'all was doing at first, and then y'all had your hats and your style and your marketing, and then you developed your brand, and now there's ways to monetize off your content.
That's a fact.
It's the same thing. We didn't know it. I had a job. You know what I'm saying? I was working in the music business. We still had Smack DVD. We wasn't charging niggas for battles. You know what I'm saying? We just knew we liked battles and it was dope. So we put it out and saw what happened. And then we figured out ways of how we could try to get money and keep the battles going and find sponsors and do other things. So it's kind of just like pursuing something that you love, and then it kind of opens up and develops into something that you can be happy and sustain a living from, or make some type of income to better your life from.
Well, when did you realize that, or what point did you say, damn, this shit is like almost like a worldwide phenomenon? Like this battle rap shit?
Yo,
like
well,
everybody around the world does it now.
Yeah, when you go down the street, people say, oh, you know, the dopest shit is like when I walk down the street sometimes, and like, because I don't really be on the cameras at the events. Like, I'm not in the front, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect people be like, yo, man, I appreciate what y'all doing for hip hop, y'all. I really, really appreciate it. It makes me feel like, you know, we have provided a contribution to something that I love, to something that I respect and take seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from an era where if you did something wrong in hip hop, like, it's offensive to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I see it as disrespectful. I have a disdain for that shit. Yeah, like, if you say you're a rapper or an MC, I want to hear rhymes. I want to hear clarity, delivery, flow, cadence, all of these different things. You know, when you're just rhyming, that's why I get frustrated when people say that trap music is hip hop. Yeah. Because it isn't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to say which one is better. Yeah. I'm not saying that you have to pick one.
Or it's bad or anything.
You can love all of it. We're not, you know, and I think that, like, with like I don't want to say the United States. Let me say I can say, like, I'm so tired right now. But like, when the world, when they pick, it's almost like they lock us into, like, if anything that, you know, the urban or the street community does, is automatically hip hop culture.
Okay.
That's not the case.
Generalize the whole culture in a sense.
Think about electronic music. You got EDM, house, and, you know, electronica, and this one and that one, and all these other different little sub-genres within electronic and house music. You got country, you got rock and roll, contemporary, classic rock, metal, death metal, heavy metal. Everything else always has multiple genres within it, except it's just rap, it's just hip hop. So Fetty Wap and Nas is in the same category.
That's crazy.
How? Both talented. Enjoy both of their music, but they're different. It's clearly a difference, and it needs to be identified because it's not fair. Because once you say that the more popular of the two is hip hop now, it diminishes the value of lyricism. It eradicates it, because the kids in the next generation, you know, they just get it, and now they don't try to rhyme like how we're used to hearing rhymes. And people are scratching their heads. What happened to the Nas's and the Jay-Z's? Well, why will any more of those people be developed if everybody's just watching people go scuba, and that's fine. But that's a vibe and an energy that is out right now. But you can't call it hip hop, because you need to say this is trap and this is this type of music. These guys look different. They dye their hair, they paint their fingernails.
The codes are different.
Wear women's clothing. They wear different
you look
stuff.
at it like
they do a lot of different things that don't make it hip hop. They're expressing themselves in a different way. Yeah, they're from the street. Yeah, they might get it popping. But it's a different expression. Just like you have white kids who are preppy and dress at J. Crew and get their hair spiked and all types of shit, and then you have white kids who are grunge. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. They're all from the same place. They just express themselves differently. And this is a clear difference. It's the guys who paint their nails, wear dresses on the album covers, wear pink hair and green hair. They don't try to rap, they mumble and sing. This is a different style of music, and it has to be identified as such, or else it's harmful, in my opinion.
Nah, Beasley, man, good luck on that, man. I know, you always take your time, hold us down and everything like that, but I know November 20th, Irving Plaza.
Yeah, make sure y'all come out to Nome. Listen, if you don't have a credit card, you can go to the Irving Plaza box office. You can go to the Gramercy Theater box office. During their business hours or when they're having a show, you can walk up and purchase your tickets in cash, credit, debit. Go down and get your tickets, man. I strongly suggest that you purchase them in advance. We will have tickets on sale the day of the show. We won't raise the price, they'll be the same price. Come through. It's gonna be dope. Last big battle event of the year. We only had two. There's only been 2 big room events this year. Double Impact and now Nome 6. So make sure y'all come out.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business. Yeah, that was kind of a big room event too. Yeah. See? I'm already forgetting, man.
Nah, I already know, man. I'm on it, man. I'm working with y'all, man.
I'm on it. Let's do it.
Beasley, man, I appreciate you again, man.
Hip-hop is real,
shout outs to URL TV and hiphopisreal.com.
Let's do it, man. Shout outs, man. We always appreciate you. Hip hop is real, man. Let's do it.
Let's get it.